I'm out of excuses. I got my hazmat suit on, so let's do this. This is what the interior of my 70,000 mile 300ZX twin turbo looked like when I got it. It had been sitting in the previous owner's yard for years. The T-tops leaked, some squirrels moved in. It was a mess. And now I have to clean it out. I started with the door panels. I'm spraying white vinegar mixed with a little warm water to try and kill the mold that's growing in here. According to the YouTube video I watched, you want to try and scoop it rather than wipe it. I'm not exactly sure how that's different, but I did my best. This worked surprisingly well. I did the other door, then sprayed down the rest of the interior. I'd let it sit for a few minutes, then kind of scoop wipe with a microfiber towel. Then I kind of blotted it dry the best that I could. I gave the dash a quick wipe, but I think I'm going to have to pull it to really get in there and give it a good cleaning. That'll be fun. I sprayed down everything else that looked a little moldy, including the T-top jams and the headliner. Then I could start removing the trash. That was pretty gross. And finally, it's one of the most satisfying parts of the whole cleaning process, the shop vac. After removing the squirrel buffet from the front carpet, I vacuumed all the loose peeling old tint off the back window and finished vacuuming the hatch. My detective skills tell me that this had a broken window at some point. With the interior looking about 1.5 million times better, I repeated the vinegar mold removal and vacuuming on all the other interior parts that have already been removed. I'm hoping most of this is reusable, but we'll see when it's actually time to put it all back together. I did an initial wipe down on all the dirty metal surfaces as well, and finished up round 1 by cleaning all the glass. At this point, I was feeling pretty tired and gross. I think I've taken care of all the health hazards, and it's definitely time for a decontamination shower. Well, I think that was a good start. It's not perfect, but it's definitely a lot better than it was. I think a lot of this is going to be savable. The door panels are pretty rough. I'm not sure if I'll be able to use those permanently, but I think I can make them work for now. I would like to pull the carpet and get that thoroughly cleaned, which I think is going to mean pulling the dash, although I should probably pull the dash anyway because it's probably disgusting under there. There's still some stuff falling out. I also got to take the hatch apart. I don't know if there's glass or acorns in there, but something's rattling around. Don't really like that either. There's a lot more work to do, but like I said, good start for the day. Here's a little before and after in case you forgot. I'm going to keep cleaning, but unfortunately, it is the end of the weekend, and I have to push this thing back under the carport. So I let the car air out for a couple of days, and 2 things are standing out to me. Number 1, it really doesn't smell that strongly of vinegar like I thought it would. It actually doesn't smell that bad at all. And number 2, the interior actually cleaned up really well for the first round of cleaning. I definitely want to go over everything again with some automotive interior cleaner, and there's still a few stains that are going to need to be cleaned out. I was going to try and save this carpet, but I think I found a company online that makes new carpet for this car for a few $100. So I think I'm going to try that first. I am going to have to remove the dash, both to clean and get the old carpet out. I'm not looking forward to that, but I know it's for the best. A lot of this stuff is pretty faded, but I'm going to try and save it because these parts are hard to find in good shape, and they're really expensive. But that's enough talking about it. I gotta get back to cleaning. I'm removing the rear hatch panels to see what's rattling around back here. I wasn't sure if it was going to be more glass or acorns. Turns out, it's both. Anybody else have this problem where your brain kind of stops functioning while you're working on your car? You'll notice I'm putting a vice grip on the hatch strut, a common trick to hold the hatch when removing one. It doesn't work well when you put it on the strut you're removing, though. Luckily, I caught this mistake before giving myself another concussion. I removed all the annoying plastic screws on the weather seals and spent a few hours looking for the ones I dropped in the gravel. I pulled the remaining panels and got to cleaning. First, I hit it with some degreaser, Then scrubbed everything with interior detailer and the tiniest brush I could find. And man, what a difference that made. This might actually look like a 70,000 mile car again. Someday. I wiped some more grime off the hatch, found some more rust, and used a lint trap attachment on my small shop vac to get the rest of the glass out of the hatch. There is one more thing I have to do before I can put the hatch back together. Besides the mold, this is the part I've been dreading the most, trying to remove all the old tint adhesive without ruining the defroster. I spent several frustrating minutes carefully scraping around the defroster lines using all the different adhesive removers that I had. Then I realized most of the lines were already broken and it probably wasn't going to work anyway, so I shut off the camera, turned on some screamy music, and scraped all that junk off. I gotta say, this might be one of the most satisfying parts of the cleanup so far. I feel so much better every time I walk past this thing, and it's clean. Relatively clean. I felt even better putting the hatch back together. I know it's a small thing on a really big project, but now I'm starting to get a little glimpse of what this is going to look like when it's done, and that's all the motivation I need to keep going. So on to the door panels. I scrubbed these with interior cleaner just like the hatch panels, and they turned out really good. I wanted to pull them off since the T-tops have been leaking and I want to check behind them, but after struggling with it for a bit, I remembered you have to put the window down to get to one of the bolts behind here, and I have a power problem at the moment, so I'll have to save that surprise for later. Now I have to pull the dash so I can check the HVAC system and get this carpet out of here. Now that I've done it once, the dash really isn't that bad in this car. It's just a bunch of screws and clips to remove the controls and the gauge cluster, and of course I found some more mouse stuff in here. There's just a few more screws, including these fun ones right under the windshield, and it should wiggle right out. Unless you run into some hacked up wiring for the glove box light. First you have to remove that, then it'll wiggle out. I was really hoping the ducts and the heating stuff wouldn't be so bad, but no such luck. It's all gotta come out. I took a bunch of pictures so I wouldn't forget how this all goes back together, and then I forgot to turn the camera on while I was removing everything. I cleaned out all the ductwork, which I think is going to be fine. Some of the foam is a little deteriorated. I might see if I can replace that. Otherwise, I think all this stuff will be okay. But the rest of this, though, yeah. I've never taken one of these apart before. I'm not sure how to clean it or if I can clean it. I was pretty tired and a little unhappy when I pulled all that stuff out, so I just quickly ripped out the carpet, and now here's what it looks like. That's basically it for cleaning this thing up. I gotta figure out if I want to clean or replace the carpet, and what to do about the heating stuff. Part of me just wants to turn this into a race car and forget about the heating system, but I do want to drive it on the street, and I live in Massachusetts, so heat probably would be nice. Oh, also I found this. So I'll have to repair that before putting the interior back together. There's a few more odds and ends to finish up, but the next big problem I gotta figure out is what to put in here. Do I attempt to rebuild the twin turbo motor, maybe an LS swap, or something else? So if this was your car, what engine would you put in it? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.